So for the past few months, I've seen this statement go around for a while and I decided now to talk about it. There's been a comparison between Godzilla X Kong and Pacific Rim Uprising. People would have liked Pacific Rim Uprising if it had Godzilla in it, because that and Godzilla X Kong are the same movie. Comparison being that both have very weak VFX compared to their previous movies, and their action sequences are in bright daylight. Or the animation for all the monsters and stuff doesn't have the same momentum and weight as the previous films do. Now, I've made my own criticisms of Godzilla X Kong before. I criticized the visuals a lot. And yes, both Pacific Rim Uprising and Godzilla X Kong have smaller budgets and pale in comparison to their previous films in terms of how they scale the monsters. Let's not pretend that Pacific Rim Uprising doesn't exist for a moment. I know that's the joke about this film, but let's be serious for a minute. But there's two things wrong with this statement. Number one, the reason people don't like Pacific Rim Uprising isn't because of the weaker VFX. I'm sure that's a criticism of that movie, but there's way worse traits from that movie that people hamper on more. GXK at least gives us a really sweet, enjoyable plot, and people can at least remember the human characters. It's not like Pacific Rim Uprising didn't have returning characters or any notable actors. Pacific Rim Uprising did a lot of decisions that upset the fandom. Also, if we're going to say just because Godzilla's in it, that means people like it, then how do you explain the majority of Godzilla fans hating the anime trilogy? There's still people that don't like Godzilla 2014 because it didn't have enough Godzilla. Godzilla X Kong has criticisms because it doesn't have enough Godzilla in it, and it's rather a King Kong movie. The Godzilla fandom doesn't just blindly love every single Godzilla movie, so it didn't matter if Godzilla or any other fictional monster that was popular was put into Pacific Rim Uprising. There's also a little thing called execution. So yeah, stinky take.